Hello and welcome to One Called Mama. I am your host, Sam, and I am very glad that you have decided to join me today. This is going to be a very good episode. I hope you are very excited. Take notes, get a pen, get a paper. We're going to talk about some great stuff. Chapter 2 of It Matters was so good. I was highlighting, I feel like, everything. Lots of notes, lots of highlights in this chapter, but there is one quote. I'm only going to pick one quote, and it's this. Living in I can't is a personal choice. I'm going to say it again. Living in I can't is a personal choice. You are deciding that you can't do that thing. Whatever it is, that's a personal choice. How does that make you feel? What thoughts are in your mind right now? Write them down. Have a piece of paper. I want you to write down what is in your mind right now. What comes to mind? What are the things that you're telling yourself you can't do? Write those down. What limitations are you living in? Here's what I've learned. I've learned that there is no limit. If I am living in a space that God wants me to live in, if I'm fulfilling a calling that He wants me to fulfill, then I have no limits. I have unlimited resources from the Heavenly Father. Do you believe that? Do you believe that you will have the resources, whatever they are, to complete whatever you need to do? It's hard. It's tough because we think automatically, I think our autopilot answer is when we think about an event that we want to go to, right? Maybe it's not in our state. Maybe it's not even near us. It's a 2-hour drive or a 4-hour flight. We think, I can't do that. I can't leave my family and get on a plane and go do a conference. I can't spend that money. We need that money. I don't have that. I can't go to that third world country. I can't be a missionary. I can't go serve and be on that mission trip for 2 weeks. I can't do that. I have a job. I have a family. I would challenge you to think again. Because if the Lord is telling you He wants you to do that thing, He's not playing games. He's not sitting there saying, I want you to do this. I want you to step into this space and then just going to back away and be like, figure it out on your own. No. He's wanting us to trust Him fully and understand that when He says go, it's not just go and make it happen. It's not just go and figure it out. It's go and I will go with you. I am before you. I have already gone ahead of you. And I am going to meet you with everything that you need to get there. Are we going to have those things before we need them? Maybe not. But He will give them to us when we need them. So the reason that this is so cool, one of the reasons is when my father passed, this was something that the Lord really brought home for me. And it's so strange that something like losing a parent could have affected such change in me that I honestly never would have anticipated. And it seems so unrelated, but the Lord used it. And what He really made real for me was this very thing of trust. Trust me for what you need. Stop worrying about that thing in the future, about those bills that you have to pay, about that thing that you want to do, but you have no idea how you're going to get there. Stop worrying about that. If I have that for you, you have to trust me with it. And what He taught me, what He really brought to life in me and what I live by now is I am going to trust for right now for what I need for today. I don't know how I'm going to get what I need a month from now or 2 weeks from now, but I know that he's going to give me what I need today because scripture tells me that over and over and over and over again. I am only going to trust for what I need today. I'm going to only ask for what I need today because tomorrow takes care of itself, right? Tomorrow has cares of its own. We live for today and trust that he will give us what we need. And when we really shift our minds and we really live in that space, everything changes. Do you know that my anxiety has decreased tremendously since I made this mindset shift? Tremendously. I don't spend my time worrying about how I'm going to do this thing that I need to do in a month, in 2 months. Oh my gosh, how am I going to get there? I don't worry about that now. I set a plan. I have things in motion and we always move that needle forward, right? We always are forward motion. We're taking steps, right? Daily, but we're trusting him in the daily, not in the monthly. The second half of this that's really neat, and this is more recent, I'm going to say a couple of weeks, the Lord told me, he said, okay, this is not exactly the Lord's words, okay, so don't take it verbatim. But he's like, you're trusting me with the daily. But now I need you to trust me with the stuff that you don't think you can do or that you have resources for. Now, let me explain the difference because I was one of these people, right? I was one of these people that said, I can't go to that conference. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources for that. I can't fly across the country and go do that thing that I want to do. I can't do that. There's just too many obstacles in the way. I have 2 small kids. I have a home. I have a husband. I have responsibilities. I can't do that. There's no way I can't do that. I was one of those people. And so a couple of weeks ago, I feel the Lord saying, you trust me. Now I want you to trust me for the things that you don't see a way to get to. And the difference is that if I know that the Lord will provide, and I do feel him calling me to something bigger, something completely unexpected, or saying, I want you to attend that event. I want you to grow across the country. Then instead of saying, I can't, I need to first say, Lord, is this what you want? And if the answer is yes, then I move forward. Then I take steps towards that. Then I ask myself that it's a shift. It's a asking myself, how do I get there? If this is what the Lord is wanting, then what can I do to get me there? And it's not about taking that from God because he provides the resources, right? But it's causing us to think. It's causing us to say to ourselves, well, what can I do? What steps do I need to take? What action do I need to take to make this happen? Because the Lord has told me, he's shown me, I need to go there. What do I do? Well, that's an excellent question. What do you do? For everyone, it's going to look different. We all have different resources. We all have different connections. We all know different people. And we all have our own talents and gifts and abilities. And when we say, well, how can I? Then we start to get creative. Then our brain starts to think, well, okay, what would that look like? And it starts to problem solve. When we ask ourselves the right question, our brain activates differently. And it says, okay, well, if we're considering this, how could we do this? Well, and then it starts shooting out options for you. So I know I said I was only going to quote one thing, but I'm actually going to quote 2 things. So she says, life happens. Seasons can be tight, but gifts and talents make room. So what is really neat about this is I'm reading a devotional. And in that devotional, she referenced Proverbs 18:16. Proverbs 18:16 in the NASB version says, a person's gift makes room for him and brings him before great people. Some translations say before great men. So then immediately my mind, I start thinking, what can my gifts, my resources, my talents, what doors can open up with that? And I know that it seems small, okay? But when we find creative ways to use what we are gifted with to produce income or to produce opportunity, God honors that. And that's honestly, I mean, it's probably part of the reason why they're there in the first place. I love doing the homesteading thing. I love making healthy mixtures and baking my own bread and doing all that stuff, right? Well, if I was looking for a way to make income, I could take those things and do a bake sale or do some sort of maybe a event that kind of revolved around learning how to make those said items. I made fire cider for my family. What if I had a little event where it was just like a $5 fee? They come, they learn how to do it, and they leave with their own fire cider. That could be fun. And that brings me some income, right? And if I turned that into a thing, that's a resource. And then I'm also building community. I'm making connections. I'm meeting people. I'm having conversations. And when you have conversations and tell people your goals and your ambitions and why you're doing things, well, those usually, in my experience, I've observed that those conversations open doors. Those connections make new connections. They put you in touch with people that you need to be in touch with. So you see that if you go from I can't, which is just completely and immediately shutting down the opportunity at all, like, nope, there's no option. Your brain is like, just, okay, move on to the next thing, to, well, how can I? How can I? And then all of these possibilities open up, all of these opportunities that you didn't see there before are suddenly before you. There's also something else that I want to briefly comment on. I had to learn to ask for help. I had to learn to reach out to people that I knew were in that space that I wanted to be in and say, can you answer a couple of questions for me? Or, hey, I see that you're doing this at a really high level. How did you learn that? Or can you share just maybe some things that I should be doing just to start out, just to get me going or to get some momentum? It's really hard sometimes because we think that maybe we're bothering someone, maybe we're going to get shut down. We have some sort of resistance to asking for help, but there's actually so much wisdom in doing that. And people, more often than not, love to share what they know with other people. They love feeling like they have, for one, they love feeling like they have authority, not authority, but a sense of, hey, someone looks up to what I'm doing. They see me as a person of knowledge of that I've achieved something in this field. So that makes them feel good because you've noticed them. And then the second thing is they love, a lot of times people love to help. They love knowing that they've been able to take what they've learned and pour into someone else. Now, maybe randomly you'll get someone that says, hey, I don't want to do that, or no, I don't want to share that with you. But I'm going to tell you that more often than not, they're going to want to help you. They're going to offer some sort of advice, some tips, some knowledge that you didn't have. So asking for advice, asking for insight, or maybe even just going to, if you're on social media, going to your people and saying, hey, I'm thinking about researching this. Do I know anyone who has experience with this? And see what kind of comments you get. And then comments roll in. You see someone that you want to talk to, you message them and then further that conversation with them in messages. So don't be afraid to ask questions, to be curious, to ask for help or advice from other people. That is so important. Community is so important. Whether you're going to build the community yourself or you are just seeking that community to provide you the support that you need. And I'll be honest that when I started out And now, still now, I don't think there's ever a time where you don't need community support. You don't need those people that are going to encourage you and keep moving you forward and help you on your hard days. I have groups of people that I ask for prayer from, that I talk to. I have very key people in my life that help me and that listen to me. But I think something shifts that later on, you start to want to build the community for yourself. And that's a really neat space to be in as well. So if you find yourself in a space where you're like, I have community and I have support, but I kind of want to be that person for someone else, I want to build my own community, go for it. Do it, because that is going to grow you in a way that you never expected either. And that's kind of the space that I find myself in. I have my support, and I also want to build my community too, and rally the women that are in my life and bring them together, because I think the Lord, actually, I know the Lord has brought these women to me for a reason. And so bring them together, find a way to connect them and be a resource for them. There's a quote that I love that says, if you help people get what they want, you can't help but get what you want to. And that is so true. If we just come from a place of giving and serving, we will always find ourselves receiving what we need as well. And I know that's not really related to what we're talking about, but there you go. That's your extra tidbit for the day. So as we wrap for today, I really want to bring this home. And I want you to really think about, what are you telling yourself you can't do? What limits are you placing on yourself right now? Are they things you've gotten comfortable with? Are they lies that you've chosen to believe for so long that they feel like a friend? We really need to start intentionally questioning these things that we're telling ourselves. And if there's that thing that you really want to do, but you've told yourself for so long, I can't do that. I can't do it. Maybe now's the time to start thinking about how you can do it, and really taking it to the Lord and being like, Lord, this is a thing that I've wanted for so long. This is something that I am passionate about. I love this. And I feel like you've given me this talent, this giftedness to pursue it, that I could be good in this space. What is my first step? Where do you want me to go? Who do I need to know? And trust him. Trust him to bring you the resources that you need. He will. That's all I have for y'all today. I hope that this was as good for you as it was for me. I loved this chapter. There was so much more in this chapter, guys, that I did not cover. I took this one thing and just ran with it. This was just the thing that stood out to me, but there was so much that she covered in this chapter. So I highly encourage you, if you haven't gotten the book yet. She's not paying me. I'm not like an affiliate or anything. Don't get me wrong. I am not getting paid to do this. Okay. I just think that this is a powerful book, and that you will get so much more out of it than just what I'm sharing here, because I can't share all of it. I can only share just little pieces and bits that I find were just the most beneficial. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, that you found something fruitful from it. If you have any questions for me, any prayer requests, any ideas for future episodes, please feel free to email me at onecalledmama@gmail.com. Don't forget to check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, and you can also check out my website, onecalledmama.org. I am there as well. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and I will be seeing you again very soon.